What's up? Happy Thanksgiving. Going to have dinner with family later, but I just felt like filming, and I feel like there's two different things on my head right now. Oh, here's my baby Benna. Say hi. Um, two different things. Last night I woke up at like 4 or something this morning, right? And I was thinking about my Stories from Izuora series, and I came to a realization about how my series was written. I feel like I've had like in the past semi a pressure to like make it like really serialized, and parts of it is, but the other sections I came to a realization because I don't know if I said it on here before, but I think one of the last times I was talking about Izora, I was thinking of like, I'm gonna take Stories from Izuora, and that's gonna be like the big umbrella, and then I'm gonna have The Secret Life of an Abikari as one like section underneath, story section underneath it. Then I'll have like Legend of Lori Reina and etc. And there's something I realized looking back at my individual those sections, and there's a consistent theme from Vera's story and Lori's and also Navi's, and they all have this kind of thing that makes them feel separate from everyone else. Like they all kind of have this thing that makes them different. And it made me start thinking, I'm like, all of these sections could be part of like The Secret Life of an Avikari, but I thought about it and I was like, maybe the story isn't The Secret Life of an Avikari and this is just Vera's story and it's underneath this big umbrella. Maybe the umbrella is the secret lives of the Avikari, the people in the society who feel different, who feel out of step or out of place and with their society. And so I decided I was gonna change the name. Stories from Izuora is still an umbrella, but it's Stories from Izuora, The Secret Lives of the Avikari. And that's just gonna be the umbrella for it. And I love that, and it's especially because I have such a soft spot for like people who have felt like outcasts, the odd one out, and as I've been just like letting myself see where the story goes without trying to force it, realizing that that is still a theme throughout actually makes me really happy because I'm like, oh, I love the characters so much. And I'm just like, I want to take such good care of these characters and their stories. And like, I feel like what I've realized about myself is I just love exploring characters' perception, like their perspectives. And I feel like that's something that when I listen to other writers talk, this is just something that I'm not saying other writers don't do this, but there's a focus difference. For me, it's not as much about crafting the narrative of a story and like, I don't know, it's not about crafting narratives for me. It's about going into the heads of the characters and really just understanding them. I like the process of just existing as the character in that world and just interacting with the other characters, seeing how they would interact with the other characters, how they connect with the world around them, or even from an outside perspective, because I've written a few like chapters for Izora in script format, and I loved having that just outside perspective of like Vera and her friends, because it's just so much fun to actually just watch them interact, not even necessarily being, I mean, I had to understand all of them, and I feel like all of those are still kind of through the perspective of Vera, even, but it's just seeing them just living life. It was fun. It was just fun. So I don't know. I need to stop saying I don't know. I I changed the. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my Wattpad where I originally was posting the chapters. I think for now I'm gonna leave those as is and have the different sections separate, because right now it's like I have the Secret Life of an Avikari, and it's all of Vera's chapters. I have the Legend of Lori Reina, which is all of Lori's chapters. I struggle to say all because um, her song My Prayer is only on my YouTube and my Substack, because I can't post audio on Wattpad, so that's not there. But everything is like on my Substack, and I've also been thinking, I've been trying I've been getting into recording like voiceover for my stories, and I've been contemplating recording it for Stories from Izuora, and it just seems like a fun like challenge, or it just seems like it would be fun. I was really nervous about like even the idea of doing that for Izora because there's so many characters, and I'm working by myself. Um but one day I decided I'm just going to test. I'm just going to record myself saying like their different parts, and I'm just going to test it out, see if I can get like a handle on like where their voices lie and whatnot. And honestly, that was a lot of fun. I'm still a little for like my guy characters like Kor and Takari. It's I still have work to do figuring out their sounds as it's coming from me. But Vera's, I feel like, very close to my normal voice, and so I don't worry about Vera very much. Um, I've recorded for Lori before, and you can also find that on my channel for A True Warrior's Heart. That is through Lori's perspective, and her voice is, so I kind of have a handle on hers. um Ashna's character is, it's so funny because I was nervous to do hers because I feel like her energy is so separate from mine. Like it's more upbeat, and it's just, but that was the most fun. No, hers and Navi's, both of their voices are kind of like, when I was doing, I this might change. I It probably won't, but I'm just, before I say something and someone finds this in the future and like, Bria, that's not true. Whatever. Right now, when I was doing the test for both Navi and Ajna's voices, It was like, it was more forward. It was more forward, like behind the eyes. But Ash's voice is like, it has a higher pitch and it's more upbeat. Whereas Navi's is kind of, it has this laid back kind of thing going on. It's like an interesting blend of like Ajna's and not Ajna's and Vera's voices. It's like somewhere in the middle. Like it has more Vera's tone, but the forwardness that Ash has. And plus she also, they have kind of an energy, just not as, I don't know, they have an upbeat energy. It's just not as bouncy. That's the word. Like it's not as bouncy as Ash's. And I don't know. I just think it could be fun to just let myself record all of them and just see how it goes. I'd just be able to like listen back. I don't, I know. It's, it seems fun. It seems fun. I was contemplating though recording the first short story, the shopping trip, the one that the first completed work from Izuora. I think I'm gonna keep that one just written. I might change my mind later, but I don't know. I was trying to start recording during that test and it just didn't feel right to try to record that out loud. But that story holds such a special place in my heart because it was the first one that I finished. And it's themes about like embracing who, feeling accepted by others. I I love it. I love it. I'm just not sure if I'm going to record it, but hey, never say never. I think it's gonna be a fun project. And I'm realizing as I'm recording this is probably just me holding myself accountable. Like, Bria, now you've said on camera that you're gonna do this thing. Speaking of which, I did on a different video, I said that I was gonna try to learn how to do like impressions and whatnot. That is still a work in progress, but that's still a work in progress, but it's fine. I realized in trying to learn how to do those that I like interpreting characters through my own thing more than trying to mimic like someone else's. And that's just a personal thing. I feel like humans who can do impressions is so cool to watch. It's so cool. I'm personally realizing about myself that when I like mimic characters, I like figuring out what the energy would be like through me more so than trying to mimic someone else's specific voice or energy, like the original like voice or energy. And that's just a personal thing for me. Okay, I realized while editing that I misspoke just a little bit. I actually love trying to mimic the original voice and energy. I just try not to put too much pressure on myself to sound exactly like them. Right? Because I'm like, I I try not to put too much pressure on myself to sound exactly like them. But I do enjoy mimicking the original voice and energy. However, I do also just really love seeing what the character's energy feels like how it differs if it's through me or if it's just if it's just through me and my energy as well. So yeah, that's I enjoy mimicking the original voice and energy. I also like feeling what the character would feel like through my own energy as well. I think that's what I was really trying to say. So, yeah. Back to the video. But I mean, I could still try for fun. But that's after having like been attempting to learn, that's just what I've been finding for myself. So, um leaning into the acting side has been a process because I never really considered myself an actor, which in hindsight is a little bit crazy because considering I've considered myself a singer for so long, I'm just as much an actor as I am a singer. Like I was, yeah, I was in choirs from middle school through college. I was in the vocal music department at Duke Ellington in high school. But at the same time, I also took acting classes. I was in a stage play for about 2 years while I was in high school. It didn't have anything to do with my school, but I was in that stage play. I minored in theater. Like, I'm just as much an actor as I am a singer. And I definitely, I have an, I don't know if affinity is the word. I love the performing arts. I'm just not as drawn, like, I don't have an industry centered focus on the arts. Like, it's not necessarily that if I came across like a really good opportunity that felt like aligned with me and that I prayed about, and I felt like if I came across a really good opportunity that felt aligned, it's not that I would like just not take it. But I feel like as a whole, when it comes to singing and acting, I don't have an industry centered focus. It's not my dream at this point to get a record deal and be going performing at concerts, going on tour, or like auditioning and being in like film movies or on Broadway. That I love doing the thing. I love singing, and acting is so much fun. And I feel like for acting specifically, because singing I do every day throughout the day anyway. Like, it's always just been something that was mine. Acting, I always had this, there was this kind of separation in terms of just my mentality. Because, like I said, I went to performing arts school, I was in the vocal music department. And so when we took like like a theater class or like a movement class, it felt like the framing, at least in my head, going through it, I felt like the framing was I'm a vocal student taking an acting class, taking a dance class, not I'm a singer, actor, dancer, right? Um, and so I think that's kept me from claiming like the actor title for a very long time. And I'm not gonna blame the school on that. It's just how, because I absolutely love my experience at Ellington. I think that's just how my headspace framed the experience. And now I'm just like, Bria, just claim it. I I connect so deeply with actors, and I just I just wanted to claim it now. And I realized for myself that when it comes to acting, I like creating opportunities for myself to do it. And so that's why I've been like recording like stories I've written, and that's how I came up with like the idea to possibly record the stories from Izuora myself. And I feel like in a way this has been like a missing piece, because leaning into just writing never felt right. Leaning into just singing never felt right. Leaning into just like visuals, which I love experimenting with. Like I love video, I love animation, and I'm still learning, still learning animation. I can't wait for the day. Like I'm excited for the day that like I'll have like an idea for something and I'll just be able to be like, I'm just gonna animate this. Like it'll be like a story idea. I I'm patient, but I'm excited for that day when I'll be just so comfortable telling a story visually or just expressing like an idea or something in a visual way, whether it be through drawing or animation. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to say today, but I'm I'm hopeful for the future. I still don't know exactly where this will lead, but yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm hopeful. So, man, I still don't know how to end these. I'm gonna figure it out though. Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. Whoever made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. um, I hope you have an amazing day, amazing week, amazing life. Bye.